Before we get started, please take the time to like, add, and subscribe to our pages on YouTube, Facebook, Spotify, and iTunes. Also, please leave us a review. We can wander our way over, because this is Wandering Ways.
What's Bigfoot possibility?
Art. Like even that, like YOLO got me these.
I know. I was trying to think in my head. Well, the one thing I have to get, because it's just a thing, is a towel.
Yeah. Doesn't matter what though.
It just has to be a towel. In fact, actually, most of the time the towels have nothing to do with the trip. Like when you look back at all of the towels.
You got because you got one in Hawaii, I remember, because we needed towels, beach towels. And then
Got one in
you got
Hawaii.
one
I got one when I went out to Montana.
Did you
I
really?
got two in Montana. Or no, two in Iceland.
Yeah, I got one.
And I think that's it for right now.
I mean, the resort in Uganda might be worth it.
That's what I was thinking is I was just gonna take that one. So
Well, or
hey, I do have a question. When you got your malaria medication, did they write you an actual prescription?
like, what do you mean?
Like, they write you a prescription to take to the pharmacy?
Yes and no, because it was IHS, so it was like all done at like one lady. And like
Yeah.
I basically I walked into the appointments to the pharmacy and was like, this is what I need, here's what I need it for. She was right there. The provider, the IHS provider, was standing right there, and she's like, "Oh yeah, just fill it." So
Yeah. The
yeah,
lady
kinda
at the County like human like health resources, the where I got all my shots,
right.
she was like, "Yeah, just take this paper to Costco and they'll hook you up." So I went to Costco on Saturday and
Yeah.
they were like, "You need a prescription." And I was
Oh,
like, I was told to just literally bring this paper because I actually remember asking the lady, I was like, "This is all I'm going to need." And she's like,
right.
"That's it." And so I was like, I was told this is all I need. And the guy
Wow.
is like, "No, you need a prescription, but we can write you it right now. We just can't fill it." So I'm waiting for it to be filled to then go pick it up now.
Dumb, dumb
Yeah, it
systems.
was.
Because it's not like Thea was saying. She's like, it's nothing special.
It's not.
It's basically like like
I
antiviral type
actually,
medicine or whatever.
I actually had someone was telling someone, somebody I play volleyball with, an older lad. He
Yeah.
I told him I was going to Uganda, I gotta get the shots, and then I gotta go pick up the malaria medication. And he's like, "Oh, I wouldn't bother." And I was like, "No?" And he goes, "No, don't bother taking it. If you get sick, pick it up then."
I mean, I get it, but like I'm
Yeah.
just
He
like
was like,
prevent
he's been to like Rwanda and southern
right,
Uganda. So he's been to the area. So like it wasn't like out of this world where this guy's just like, "Nah, man, don't take the pill."
right. Well, even YOLO is like we can forge your yellow card if you need it. Like
No, right?
so
But
I mean, it's not like it's but I even got take twice a day tablets for traveler sickness
oh, you
just
did?
in case we get sick on the
I'm
food.
gonna be taking a bunch of that kind of stuff with me.
Yeah. So
I'm gonna
I
admit
got
on
that.
two of my flights, I uh I paid for a slight upgrade.
I was debating doing that
I
now
didn't
that
go
we're like,
big upgrade. I didn't go big upgrade, if I'm being honest.
no. But especially because taxes just hit, and I was like, ooh, the 70 extra bucks for some more leg room, maybe.
Yeah, well, I
What'd
went
you
more
get?
than that, but I got like the plus whatever.
What'd you?
I get free drink.
Oh yeah, Comfort Plus is like all trip long. You can keep requesting it. That's a
Yeah.
nice thing because I'll usually sometimes when I was flying a lot Delta because Delta's Air France, same program. Um, I would get bumped up to Comfort Plus, and yeah, they would just like back then I was drinking, so then they were like, yeah, I'll take a little
Yeah.
Miller Lite or whatever it
I'm
was.
only doing it. So I have four total flights. I'm only doing it on two of the flights. Basically, Portland to Amsterdam and Amsterdam back to Portland.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea. I did you see on that Amsterdam back to Portland one the like this like beds basically?
Oh yeah, because I'm essentially on the same flight to Amsterdam, just the other way around. Like it's the same plane. So I could have gotten one of those if I wanted. But did you see how much it was the upgrade?
2 grand for just like a
Yeah.
bed is wild. Plus on top of the like 2 grand you just spent for the tickets or whatever. Like it's wild. I could see why if you're into it, but if you had the money,
Yeah, if
yeah,
you
like
had the
if I
money.
could spit out 2 grand, like it was nothing. I was
Right.
I was debating it. The nice thing is yours is direct from Portland both ways. Mine, we gotta go through Seattle on the way up, but
Yeah.
it's part of the process. Because see, like Comfort Plus, if I want to do that to Paris from Seattle, that's 270, 275, which I thought about it. If I want to like get the preferred seating up front, it's a $60 upgrade. The Delta One cabin, not even available anymore. That's like wild. Um, and then yeah, like on the Air France one down to Nigeria, they don't even offer they don't even offer seat selection basically. Like it was
Yeah, I had
weird. Like
trouble
I did pick a
loading it to pick my seats for the other ones because you have to pay to pick your seat on the ones, or at least the ones I have. And I was having trouble loading it, so I was like, you know what? It's a sign. Just just do the two.
that's fair. But it's weird now because now it's not showing that. That flight's been weird because it's changed a few times on me already. We had to rebook because it was direct from Paris to Nigeria. Then now we're going through Chad.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, but it's the same like air like flight number and stuff. And like you're in the same like my seat is the same. So that's what that is. But yeah, I'm on the flight back with you.
Yeah, I remember that.
19 bucks if I want Comfort Plus from Portland to Seattle. No, I don't have the miles yet, but this will hopefully get me some miles.
Yeah, this will be a good mile
Yeah.
loader.
No, it'll be a fun trip. I'm excited to do some stuff. What have you looked more into what to do? Have you looked at the resorts and anything?
No, I only know the one resort we're going to.
Yeah, I mean that's what I was like. I don't know.
Oh,
Do you see what like they had? I'm going to click on leisure here. The
what's the
marina
name of the resort
experience.
again?
Speak, Speke, Speak Resort. They got fishing, boat trips, bird watching, trips to the island. You got to contact them. Equestrian, if you want to ride horses. Looks like there's a nice market fair, live jazz band down at the Lake Victoria. That actually looks really pleasant and lovely. The Viking Bar is a food place. Lake Terrace looks like another cool spot. They have the poolside. Looks like a really nice resort.
Yeah, it looks like it did. The little bit I looked at, it looked like the resort was nice.
The weddings look elegant as fuck, though. You click on the wedding page.
Yeah. Oh, there's a gym?
Yeah, I was just clicking on the wellness center. Gym, swimming pool, a calabash spa. I'm gonna click on the spa.
I can still get
Holistic
workouts
wellness and
in.
sleep. Yeah, there you go. Hot
I was
stone
low key
massage.
kind of worried about that.
You could get an Indian head massage, a scalp massage, Mark. A more pack treatment, a recommended heat therapy used for rehabilitation for back pain, stress relief, increasing blood flow, as well as working on stiff muscles and injuries, deep tissues of the skin. Aromatherapy, back, head, and shoulders, foot pressure, couples massage, deep tissue massage. You can do that. They got the pool, they got the fitness center. What's the squash?
Oh, there's a
Oh, they got
Zumba
squash.
class.
There you go. You could take it.
What is it? What else do they got here? They got uh oh, that's
Mine's
really what
like
it
loading.
so it seems like that's all they got is
I don't know, but it sounds like according to Yellow, we'll be going different places every day like that they have the
yeah.
opportunities. I was trying to see the costs.
Well, they have a
I mean, I
steam room.
guess we'll see when we're there, huh?
Yeah.
Well, because you talked about last time you talked about the the Nile, right?
Yeah.
Nile is right there. Um, Looking at Kampala itself, I mean, they have some stuff around there. There's a really cool temple I saw. They have the mosque, which is cool, the National Mosque. They have some museums, which might be neat to check out, like the Uganda Museum and the Social Innovation Museum. Um, they got a forest nearby, the Budongo Forest, and maybe see some chimpanzees. It's possible.
See some chimps.
Yeah.
Same fuck you
There's
up.
some Kasubi tombs, Kasubi tombs, ancient Ugandan royalty buried at this site.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. Just have to check it out. I'm sure YOLO will have some cool stuff set out for us
Yeah, and I'm sure like
as well.
one when we were there and we start meeting just the people that are going to be at the wedding also, we can just be like, well, what are you guys doing?
Yeah, where are we going? What's up?
Well, if we're like, if they're doing something cool, you just be like, can I come?
Well, yeah, I think that's what it'll be because they'll be the vans, right?
Yeah.
The
Well,
different
even if it's not like, with the big group, like what if we meet, I don't know, random cousin or something, turns out to be a pretty neat lad, and he's like, yo, I'm gonna go to this spot downtown. We're gonna go do this thing, and it sounds pretty dope. You're just like, fuck, let's go, dude.
exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, exactly. I'm on board. I'm going through. I got my visas too.
Yeah, you had to
Um,
get two.
I got Yeah, the one for Nigeria cost me $210.
Damn.
YOLO said his was 280. And I was like, yeah, I don't know why. He's like, I don't know why mine cost more. And I said, probably you're more of a security risk being from Uganda versus the US or whatever that like paper
Yeah.
transfer,
I don't know.
It's
I
like,
think Nigeria is the more dangerous country.
ah, find out.
Well, to be honest, I've seen a lot of stuff awkwardly saying that Nigeria is a dangerous place, but it's all been like kind of like outward from main areas of Nigeria.
Well, yeah, it's like
And
isolated.
like, yeah, I should probably actually maybe backtrack it a bit because it's one of those where like it's just in my realm for some odd reason. I've seen like a lot of stories but you can find those kind of places anywhere.
Yeah. I
So
mean, you find them here in the US, go to Compton, Inglewood, go to the reservation. Look at that picture I had to get. They had to have a passport photo on there.
I'm surprised they didn't add it to the Uganda one,
Right? Must
but
have been, it must be since, well, it sounds like for like a tourist visa like that, because we also have like outgoing flights that they might just be like, yeah, they're not staying, versus
yeah,
like 'cause it says on the other one cannot work. This one does say though I gotta leave. I don't know. We'll see, man. I got it all right here though. I got my folder, my documents
there
coming
you
with
go.
me.
There you go. Being a
Coming
good
with
migrant,
me.
having your papers. Papa Trump and
That's
Sleepy
a
Joe would
honest.
be proud.
I got mad because I was like, quit fucking talking about this border, guys. It's been open since 1492.
Yeah, but the thing is that's the like they pulled average voters and like that's the deciding factor everybody seems to have for this upcoming election. Minus the like I think it's like 52% of independent voters would make a decision based off the results of Trump's trials.
Yeah, it's how are we in this place? You think with all the innovations, you think the ability to do what we do, how are we still here? I don't know, man.
Or
I'm gonna go travel the world.
or is that why we're in this place? Because of the innovations, because of more information.
But that's what I guess that's what I'm saying is like we see the bullshit now, and the bullshit's always been the same bullshit. It'll
Yeah,
never change. We're just here. We're just living. We're just living, G. We're just living, G. But all's
we
good.
are. This is true. This is true. I just drank all my water, otherwise I'd cheers you.
Yeah, I would too, and I just set mine down, and I don't know where I set it down at.
But
Like I just had, but it's got to be within an arm's reach, and
well, I don't
I
even have
drank
any
out of
water
it.
in
Like,
mine. So I know I
oh, I
saw
threw
you.
mine away.
Oh,
I threw it away. That's why. That I was like, where did it go? Because I think
shame,
that's mine
shame.
too. I got a pretend cup, clink.
Yeah, there we go. No, I got something. It's national park related. Okay. So
We'll talk about it.
I'm gonna pull up my list. I'm gonna pull up my list here. So for 2023, the numbers have come in on most visited parks, top 10 most visited. And then afterwards, I want to go and do top 10 least visited with you.
I'm about it.
Okay. So,
You want me to
do you want to
guess?
start at 10 or start at one?
I mean, do you want me to guess any?
Yeah, well, I definitely want you to try and guess the top three.
Okay, that's fair.
So,
Let's go. 10. Just talk about it. Number 10. Throw it out there.
number 10. So this is a notable change from 2002, as it's saying, as this park jumped into the top 10, coming in at 2.9 million visitors. This park is Olympic National Park.
I could see it. I could see it. When you get into the people, because it was kind of a hidden park, and then the Wandering Ways podcast boosted that shit. on their socials and on the network. And I think when you look at those people who are interested in the national parks, are interested in nature, this is kind of like that next step kind of park. And COVID was that big boom
Mhm.
and going to the park. So it's like, oh, what's next? Oh, we could fly into Seattle. We can do a Olympic. We can do a Mount Rainier. The diversity of this park, kind of like Yellowstone, where it's like you can go do quite a bit, makes sense. But it was kind of hidden for a while because it was, I think, a little bit harder to get out this way.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. I think this is going to become a more popular park in the grand scheme of it. Um, but I definitely think this is going to be like a park that jumps in the top 10 one year and then is out of the top 10, but still like top 15, top 20 every year. But it's going to be just, there's going to be big booms where it breaks in and then a bust year. I think it's just going to yo yo just because this is kind of that kind of park.
On location.
Well, that's why I think it's that kind of park is for location, purely location reasoning. And And I'm curious how many return visitors there are, because this is definitely a park when you get there, you're like, you can see a lot. And then you go, when you're done with your first trip, you're kind of like, okay, if I really want to see more of this park, I have to like go in to the park.
Right. No, I get you. I feel that. I get,
But
yeah. Yeah, I feel like every time I go to Olympic, it's like, it wants me yearning for more.
yeah. But that's number 10. Number 11, this
Oh,
park coming in
number nine?
at
Number nine?
number nine. My bad. I said 11. I meant nine.
It's like,
Number
wait, why are we
nine.
going that
Yeah,
way?
yeah.
We're going to do
No.
10 through 15 today, guys.
Just before we close up Olympic, they saw an additional 500,000 visitors compared to 2022.
Wow.
Um,
That's a lot.
but
We're talking 2 million, that's a huge percentage.
that's a big chunk. But number nine coming in at 3.27 million visitors coming in from California, Joshua Tree.
Yeah.
This actually doesn't surprise me. Um, I think one, it's a real popular place for Southern California people to go. Um, and with this boom of like psychedelic drug use kind of it going up, I say this seriously.
I know you do.
Joshua Tree is like the place to go. People go to Joshua Tree to trip.
Well, especially
So
LA being right there. It's kind of LA's park when you look at national parks.
yeah, that and then what is it, the Channel Islands? Because that's like near Santa Barbara.
Right. But I think this one, when you like exactly what you're saying, when you start talking the tourism, if they're going to the Grand Canyon, if you're bundling it, it's down by Vegas, it's kind of in this spot that
Hmm.
like I could see it consistently falling in the top 10, but on the farther side of the top 10. Because it doesn't
Yeah.
like wow factor. It's that like, no, hey, we're getting out. We're going to the forest, we're going to the woods kind of feel.
Hmm. You get good skies, you
Yep.
know. So I don't know if it's a dark sky park, but I know it gets, I mean, you get good skies. You've seen tons of pictures of Joshua Tree at night. So there's rock climbing. I know a lot of people who have gone just for climbing. Um, so it's up there, and I'm not too surprised of its popularity, if I'm being honest.
No, and then have you ever watched like the Travel Channel or those like home channels or like best Airbnbs on Netflix, that kind of stuff?
I
Joshua,
haven't, but I know what you're gonna say.
yeah, Joshua Tree pops up and it's like almost this like creative artsy stuff you see. Like, oh, you want to stay in a metal spaceship? And
Yeah.
I think that also falls to your point with the like drug use. Like it's kind of one of those like places where it's like this creativity and this
Mhm.
what's all attracted to that in that area.
I concur. I concur. Number eight. This one also. cracking the top 10 when compared to 2022. It saw an additional 611,000 visitors in 2023 for a total of 3.42 million visitors. Actually, fairly close to where you are, Grand Teton National Park.
Okay, I could see that because just because it's not necessarily the Yellowstone uh number wise, because Yellowstone gets the numbers from the other entrances, where like this is the southern entrance to Yellowstone. So you're going to get that
Yeah.
number. And it makes sense too because you just seen just the popularity of the this the Teton Park itself has gained a lot of popularity in the last 5, 10 years.
Yeah, that's true. Also, like I hate like I have nothing to back this up, but I think a lot of people don't realize Grand Teton is that close to Yellowstone.
Well, yeah, because you're driving around Yellowstone and 30 miles to a lot of people like that, that's far. Where it's
Yeah.
like you're going 40, you're going a little bit quicker, you can get there, a little bit quicker. Uh,
Hmm.
I think that's part of it is like, or they see like, oh, it's 100 miles away, but it's like, no, it's still Yellowstone in that way. You're just it's like this extension, this arm extension. I
Yeah.
really do that is probably like when you look at Yellowstone, Bozeman, West Yellowstone, Ennis, Jackson Hole, all those, that is like some of my favorite places in the world. Is that
Yeah, what was it? Oh, that's what it was. We got two new recruits coming in next year for men's soccer, and they both come from originally England. So they're English lads. And they played at a JUCO first and a JUCO in Wyoming.
oh
And I was like, why are they going to Wyoming? And then I was like, well, where are they in Wyoming? And it's like Northwest something community college of Wyoming, something like
Powell
that, right?
in Powell?
I think so. It's something,
Yeah.
and like someone said Northwest, and I was like, what, Jackson Hole? Because that's the only place that's worth a damn out in Wyoming.
No, because it's not even over there.
Yeah,
It's Powell, which is down by Cody.
yeah.
And it's like all those people come to Billings to shop, and you're like 2 hours from Billings. Like
Cool.
that's
Yeah, that, yeah, 100%. I know
it's
it.
still that Eastern Montana, Eastern Wyoming vibe.
Yeah,
Like it
it's
says
it
Northwest,
was
but
one of those where like I'm listening to them say where they're from, and I'm like, oh, I can't wait to meet these guys because I want to know why did they go to Wyoming?
yeah, because that like it's like going to Billings, Powell, where they're at,
Yeah,
kind of. You're like, what? From
yeah.
England? Was that? You saw Wyoming. I mean, you are really close to that west entrance there, though. You're 100 miles from that
Hmm.
Yellowstone, so you're close.
Uh, gonna move on to number 7. This is the farthest east park that we have, and only the second. Only 2 of 8 or 2 of 10 parks here come from the East Coast, or what I'm deeming East Coast here. Um, but number 7 with 3.88 million visitors, it's one I really want to go to. It's Acadia National Park.
Yeah, and I think for the same reasons as Olympic, which is on the East Coast, kind of that
Yep.
the
Yeah.
popularity, like coastal park, is it's gone
And
up.
I think because the East Coast is more dense, they get more visitors.
Yep, and that's why you see
But
the higher. It's still up there because it's up in Maine. I think it is still out of the
mhm.
way,
Yeah,
but
I concur.
that's why it's not. I think that's if it was like the proximity that Olympic was to like Portland and Seattle on the East Coast to like a New York or Philadelphia or like those kind of like larger cities, this would be a top five park easily.
Yeah, I do too. I think so. I think this would easily, if you get closer to Boston there.
But just because it's far enough, like it's going
Hmm.
to take a trek. But it's also why I want to go up there and see it because I think that's a part of the East Coast that is almost it's still intact in a way.
Yeah. Number 6. This park surprised me that it hit number six. This is one of how many surprises are there for me for here? This is one of kind of two surprises I have here. But number six coming in at 3.9 million. Okay, not off from much off from Acadia, but Yosemite National Park.
Interesting. Because
Yeah,
Yosemite would be, you say number six. Like they're a dark horse top four some years.
yeah. I mean, to be honest, before, if you'd asked me Yosemite and I didn't know any numbers, and you're like, where do you think it lands on visited parks? I'd say on a good year, top three.
Well, that my top three guesses were going to be Yellowstone, uh, Great Smokies, and Yosemite. That was going to be my top three.
I'm going to tell you right now, you're only right about one.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. I bet glaciers climbed the list too, though. I think glaciers become more and more accessible. And I bet that's up here. And I,
Uh, we'll
you know,
get to Glacier,
yeah, that's what I'm
but
saying. Climb the
coming
list.
in to number five. Well, we can talk about Glacier is really what it comes down to. But coming in at number five, most visited park, this one we've been to. We have been to. We didn't have a long stay here, but coming in, I think it was 4.12 million visitors, Rocky Mountain
Wow.
National Park.
Okay, now I got my yeah, Grand Canyon, Glacier, Yellowstone, and Smokies, I think are the ones up here. Anyway, um let's Yosemite we could talk Yosemite a little bit if you want to too, because we didn't give it its
Oh,
due
that's
diligence.
true. That's very true. I don't know what, because California is dense. I've been to Yosemite and that place is fucking packed.
Probably an off year in reality. And part of what you're saying is the fires, the
Yeah.
fact that it's packed, that people are going to these other parks. We did see that trend where typically like this one would just hit with the normal ones, like we're saying. So you're seeing that fall because you're seeing, I think, the exploration of these other parks.
Hmm.
I mean,
No,
Yosemite's on our list. We want to
yeah,
get there.
Yosemite. Yeah, it could have been off year. Rocky Mountain, I'm actually not too surprised. It's a top
Oh,
five park. It's in Colorado. It's close-ish to Denver.
yeah. Me and Matt were
Boulder.
in Denver for a couple days and we drove to Rocky Mountain Park for just like 2 minutes, but we did,
Yeah.
like,
And then
oh,
I always forget the name of where Colorado State is.
oh, and Fort Collins.
Yeah, Fort Collins. That's close because we did that drive.
Oh yeah, no, it's all right there.
Yeah.
Denver.
So there's
Right.
plenty of populated places to go and get in this park.
And
So
it's a cool park. They got that's the headwaters essentially of the Colorado River, which is the mighty river that probably forms our number four park, but I'm thinking number four is probably Glacier.
yeah, it should be noted that Rocky Mountain is actually down on the list when compared to 2023. I don't know how many less, but number four coming in at 4.5 million visitors. You ready? This is going to shock you. Yellowstone National Park.
Yeah. I mean, I could see it because a lot of people have been like it has been on number
And
one.
should be noted that this has moved up the list from 2022.
Okay, but 2020, 2021 was it number one, number two,
I don't have that much far of
No, that's
information.
that's fine. But you know what I'm saying? Like
So,
it's typically one of your most visited parks.
oh, 100%. If you don't see Yellowstone in the top 10, you're like, well, what happened? Type
Exactly.
deal.
Top five
Um,
for that matter. I think it's usually it is in the top parks. But
yeah.
Montana, hard to get to. A lot of people like to fly places. You got to fly to Bozeman or
Hmm.
maybe your Billings or somewhere like that.
Yeah. But okay. Number three, I want to know your guess. You don't have to guess the number of visitors. Um, But it should also be noted that this is the same as in 2023 or 2022, this park.
So I'm going to guess Glacier here at number three then.
Okay, number three, 4.62 million visitors. This one is a part of the Utah Five, Zion National Park.
Okay, that's fair. Zion tends to hit.
Zion, yeah. Zion's it gets a lot of people. It's popular. It's really popular right now.
Angels Landing
Yeah.
had narrows. There's reasons for permits. They've had a shuttle system like that predates like parks being busy. Like it's one of those
Yeah.
like it's like no, that road has been closed. Like you can go down it in the off season, but I don't even think that anymore in some of those parks how it
Yeah.
changed. Yeah, three, I get it. Yeah, Zion. I didn't even know why that one thought because I think is Grand Canyon number two.
Grand Canyon is number two, coming in at 4.73 million visitors.
That one I see. That one's another top five. That I mean,
Yeah.
it's a natural wonder of the world.
Yeah, it is. I'm not, yeah, that one's gonna always be a top five.
Well,
Everyone knows, even people who aren't into nature and like national parks and all that, everyone knows about the Grand Canyon.
exactly. Exactly.
So, um, I mean, number one, I don't think is ever really going to be touched just because where it is. And I mean, if you're looking, so Grand Canyon, 4.73 million visitors. Number one, the Great Smoky Mountains or Great Smoky Mountains National Park. Like Grand Canyon, Zion, uh, and well, those two combined don't even get, and actually maybe even Yellowstone if I did the math, but it might, if number those three might barely beat the number at 13.3 million visitors in 2023 for Great Smoky Mountains.
So I wonder part of that if it's like you're going through the park and they're counting you to get somewhere else.
Yeah, it would be interesting to know how they counted, but I mean, like this is such a park where like where it's located, you're just going to get a lot of people.
No, and they do. And they like I've been there. It is a lot of people there. Like there are lanes going into this park. Like you're talking
Yeah.
like lanes getting in. But Pigeon Forge is right there. There's that's kind of the mountains of this area too. Like where like you can go do these outdoor activities where you can, like there I saw people rafting the river, floating the river. There's all that kind of opportunities when I went down there. So that makes sense. It totally makes sense that
Mhm.
this and it always is when you look at the numbers. I think this is number one, number two most years. So
I think it's almost always number one. If you're getting 13.3 million, like your off years still have to be close to like eight, nine, if not 10, you know? Like that's a lot of people not going to the park to bump it down to number two.
and Glacier didn't make the list.
No. I actually thought it would made the top 10 of least visited, but I checked real quick and it did not.
Those are all Alaska.
Well, there are quite a few there. But
So I was kind of thinking of getting into sport fishing again, but I feel like I need a good quality net.
Well, you know what, Reverend? I got the key solution for you. Our friends at Blue Ribbon Net make this eco-friendly aquafade bag so you're not hurting the environment. It's 100% biodegradable. Plus, the wood is locally sourced and it is also biodegradable. And it's just such a great company to use. The Blue Ribbon Nets, they're here in Bozeman, Montana. And we even have a discount code. That's right. If you use the code Rougarou10, that's right. That's my Jeep, the Rougarou. Rougarou10, Rugaru10. You're going to get some discount on a Blue Ribbon net. You can get the long one if you're fishing the big fish, or you can get just the good river one, if you're like me and just want to catch a lot of fish.
So again, make sure you go check out Blue Ribbon and use the promo code Rougarou10.
No, so uh cool shit in nature today. I don't really have like a true video to show. As much as it is more of a story or a fun fact about uh about a bird that is quickly jumping into my top three favorite critters. Um, I'm gonna say it's jumping up there real quick. Um, you know the critter, you've seen the critter, but here we go. It's about puffins. All right. So, for the people that are just listening right now, this is a picture of a guy with a camera that has a puffin literally touching the camera. And so the first comment under it, it says, very curious doggo, because someone's trying to be funny. But the next one says, reminder that puffins are extremely social and like to fit in with their friends. So they will adopt mannerisms and interests of the group. So there's a good chance this little guy is trying to be friends with the photographer by showing his interest in the camera.
Yeah, that's
It
probably a
gets better, my friend.
oh
Okay,
good.
so
You did some
this
digging.
also explains why, when puffins were reintroduced to the remote islands in Maine, they started cultivating flamingo-like habits of standing on one leg. Not because it is better for them, but because there were puffin decoys planted around the island to make the puffins feel safe, and they were stuck in the ground on a single pole for ease of manufacture and great stability. The new arrivals looked at them and also started standing on one leg because they wanted to fit in with their new neighbors.
That's good. That's gold.
I
I
thought it
wonder
was a fun fact.
a defense mechanism of
Yeah,
like, we're gonna be friends.
it is. It just I saw that and I quickly started thinking about Iceland and the puffins. I even went back, watched some videos, looked at the pictures. I mean, puffins are really dope.
They're curious. They're curious critters. There's a huge part of me that wishes we would have stayed there longer, but like totally like didn't we were
Like
booked we
yeah,
booked
we were at
yeah,
that point in the trip. Like, could you imagine if we had the time like at the end of Iceland, but at that point?
yeah. Yeah. Especially like yeah. I mean we were doing so many miles and so many all that a day, you know what I mean? So in
Yeah,
we need to we needed to, but like I think thinking about it and going back, it's like those cliffs, I would almost find a campground somewhere around that, like that town, where that boat was,
yeah,
do something like that, and
100%.
a whole day just being spent out in that area
Oh yeah, if I go back to Iceland, I want to hit that northwest, the fjords.
for about a month.
Oh yeah, at least a week. At least a week.
I'm going to try and do it. I with Blue Ribbon, because we're doing more of the marketing stuff for them, and I was, you start building the budgets, you start figuring it out. I'm like, we need stock photos. Well, who takes really good stock photos? I
There
was
you
joking.
go.
I was joking, like I was like, where you got all those photos for the website or for the PowerPoint? I'm like, those are all photos I took fishing. I said, I'm gonna go fly fish Iceland. I'm gonna go make it happen. I'm gonna go spend 2 weeks out there.
That would be. I mean, yeah, I want to go back to Iceland, but my Instagram algorithm is telling me Japan is my next destination.
Yeah, I've been getting I think I've been getting some more Japan videos on my Instagram because you've been sending me a bunch, and I'm not
I
opposed.
know.
That one, it's going to cost a lot. My buddy
It would be
Chance,
one of the more expensive ones for sure.
my buddy Chance said we need to hit him up if we go because he knows like the ins and outs in a way. Um, we just gotta, yeah, we gotta really that one. I think we got done for like 3 weeks too.
No, I think 2 weeks would be okay.
And give it another week. Give it another week. Enjoy it.
3 weeks is a long time to travel. That's the kicker.
I mean, yeah, at that point you are looking for like laundry and stuff.
Yeah, that's why like 2 weeks. is a good time. It's a good length of travel where you can still see a lot without feeling overburned.
Makes sense. I mean, that's a good rule of thumb.
But uh, okay. So no, going back, we did top five most visited. I was able to find a list of the top, or sorry, top 10 most visited. Now we're going to top 10 least visited national parks.
I'm gonna guess
And
four of them are
off the get-go, I'm gonna tell you right now, one, two, three, four of them are in the lower 48.
six are Alaska, or you're including
One,
the
two,
Hawaii one.
three, four, five Alaska.
And the other one's the other national park, like American Samoa or what that, right? It's
That
like
one's in there.
yeah, because it's like it's just so far to fucking get to.
Yeah,
Read
it
10,
really is.
read 10 through 6, and we'll do the top five. We'll kind of go one by one.
Okay, 10 through 6. Fun fact, I have been to one of these parks already. So, number 10 coming in at for 2022 had 143,265 visitors. It's Great Basin National Park in Nevada,
Okay. Middle of nowhere.
middle of nowhere. Number 9 coming in at 84,285 visitors. Dry Tortugas out of Florida.
Hard to get to.
Hard to get to, makes sense. Number 8 at 78,305 visitors. Wrangell St. Ellis or Elias up in Alaska.
Really far.
Can't wait to do our ABCs for that one.
That'll be towards the end.
It will be. It will be way down at the bottom of our list. Coming in number 6 or 7 that I'm at, right? One, two, three, four, five, six. Number 7 at 40,351 visitors. This one actually kind of surprised me that it made the list. North Cascades out of Washington.
Yeah, I could see that though, because like how many times have we gone to Washington and not gone to North Cascades?
I mean, I get that part of it, but it's close enough to populated areas that I didn't think it would make this list.
Do the math, right? There's 40 national park, 60 national parks, right? Yeah. Yeah, I
Yeah,
feel you. I feel you.
but
Especially the high
okay.
up. Yeah.
Yeah. Number 5, right? Did I say 5 or 6? 6. Number
Six.
6. One, two, three,
North
four, five.
Cascades.
Number 6. This is the one I've been to. Coming in at 33,763 visitors. It's Katmai National Park in Alaska.
That's hard to get to.
It's very hard to get to. Makes a lot of sense. Number 5, this is the last of the lower 48 parks at 28,965 visitors. It's Isle Royale out of Michigan.
That's another like because you gotta take like it's a boat trip to it.
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense for why these parks are the way these parks are.
Right.
Like I'm not doubting that one at all. Um, it I mean, we'll learn more about that. I have never heard of this park. So that's the joy of doing the ABCs is we get to learn about the parks
Right.
that we
Well,
have no idea really about, and then we really learn about them, and we're like, shoot, now add it to the list.
and I think that's the thing. National parks, you start learning about them, you're like, there's a reason we all the federal alliance was like,
Yeah,
yep, keep this. I do think Michigan more and more, Minnesota, the Great Lakes, kind of that upper peninsula area, more and more and more that I keep hearing and finding out about that just makes me want to that's kind of one of those areas too that's like, should I? Should we make it happen?
yeah, I'd be I'd be down for it, I think. to go to this area, check it out. But number 4 coming in 17,616 visitors out of the state of I should note that the last 3 of the last 4 do come from the state of Alaska. But it's Kobuk Valley,
Okay.
Alaska.
It's
Uh, I
that was
mean,
up on the ABCs. We'll probably hear that one here sooner than later.
yeah, what are we? We're in G, so
H.
we're
Okay.
yeah, we got H. Actually, we might be that one might be right around the corner for us to learning more about. So stay tuned, everybody.
If you look at
Um,
it, it's up there north. It's up in the Brooks Range, kind of out there on the left side, Kobuk Valley. Kotzebue is where, the biggest city around there. And Kotzebue's not that big. Gerald's been
yeah.
there.
But number 3 coming in at 16,728 visitors, it's Lake Clark, Alaska.
Like,
So
that one's actually a little surprising.
I am surprised too, just because I've heard of this one more.
Well, it's so are you familiar with Anchorage?
Yes.
It is on the Cook Inlet there, Lake Clark.
Oh,
It,
so it's relatively close.
it's across the Cook Inlet from Homer and Kenai. So it's right there by Anchorage. So that is kind of shocking, being the fact that that's a hub to
Yeah,
get
for
to.
it to be number 3.
But it looks like it's in like a big mountain range. Like it's on like when you look,
Oh,
it's just mountains. Like,
that's fair. That's fair. I see the postcard I have for it, and the postcard looks pretty. So I think there's a lot of possibilities for some cool shit out of Lake Clark. Not gonna lie.
yeah.
Um, but number 2, I want to know what your guess at number 2 is going to
Is
be.
this Samoa? Is this Samoa here?
Number 2 is National Park of American Samoa, coming in at 12,135 visitors.
I mean, that's the trip. That's why you're going there. That's who's booking the
Yeah,
ticket,
yeah. This would
which,
be a dope one to go to.
yeah, which I think, Wandering Ways needs to make it happen. Samoa, Fiji, all that.
Yeah, that
All,
would be super dope to go to.
yeah, it's on American Samoa too, which is wild because you have American Samoa and then even just Samoa, it's 3 different islands
Hmm.
over there.
Yeah. Um,
Number one is that Gates of the Arctic.
Gates of the Arctic. Now, the real question I have for you, does Gates of the Arctic get more or less than 10,000 visitors?
Less, it's like 8, right?
Well, this is for 2022.
But didn't we? It's like 7,000, 8,000. Didn't we do Gates of the Arctic on a
Yeah, we've done Gates of the Arctic, but
what was
if it
2020?
is, I'm trying to remember what it was. I can't remember. It might have been like 8. But if we went with that number, then 2022 was a banner year for Gates of the Arctic, coming in at 11,045 visitors.
Hey man, and I hope to be one of those one day. That's definitely one I want to get up to.
Yeah.
I want to like I just need to make Alaska happen, man. I need to
Yeah.
take that
Gates of
highway.
the Arctic, Denali,
Honestly, like
Lake
that
Clark.
that Prudhoe Bay all the way to Nome, even Barrow. If we if we did that highway, I think that'd be fun to do. I think that'd be a cool like trip.
Yeah. But for those listeners that are looking for a park where you can get away from the people, these are your parks right here.
Right?
So
Right. These are the ones that'll
it
make it big. You get good
it
content.
will. It will for sure. Anyways, but that is it That's all of we got going today. It's a bit of a different podcast, I'd say, but I still think a good one. But anyways, moving on. Final words. Final words, my man.
It was a good one. I like it was kind of a different flow. I hope the Wanderers were up for it. We're just kind of catching up. We're preparing for a big trip, as you can tell. We get kind of get this is different than Iceland. This is different. This is it's gonna be fun. It's exciting. You'll see a lot from us. We hope you tune in. We really appreciate you guys tuning in. The ones that do, you know who you are. It's not you, Jared, Matt, Tyler, Josh, parents. It's not you guys, but when you do listen, we appreciate it. We thank you. And yeah, I'm excited, man. I it's mental. These last few weeks mentally have been weird, just preparing for Africa. But like now that it's like here, yeah,
It's go time.
getting real. So that's
Yeah,
where I'm at.
I feel that. I feel that. Reverend's final words of wisdom. Stay beautiful, everybody. Can't tell you how much I appreciate every single one of you. Um, Speaking of Reverend, I think it was let me just double check this here real quick, but it was yeah, yesterday of the day we're recording this. It's been my 8th year as an ordained minister. So pretty exciting news in the Reverend field for me. Been 8 years of being a Reverend. Love every single minute of it. Yeah, if you're listening to this when it first comes out, just so you guys all know, we are currently in Africa. Um, I actually think I am just getting into Uganda. This is like my first full day in. So uh, Zach's been there for a few days already by the time you guys are all listening to this. So hopefully there's cool stuff. I don't know how much of it will be live, how quickly we'll be posting it up, but I got my Super 8 film ready to go. So I'm excited to shoot some fun stuff.
Almost forgot
But
the
yeah,
Polaroid. Almost in that moment, you was like, go grab the Polaroid.
there you go. There you go. I'm helping Zach out every little way I can. But yeah, with that being said, peace out, everybody.
Bye.